Hey everybody, Matty here with Altcoin Buzz. Happy Sunday. Hope you're having a splendid weekend so far. Today we are discussing Ethereum in much the same way that we discussed Ripple in depth just a few days ago. We are going to be discussing Ethereum's latest hard fork, the second one in a month actually, in case you've been paying attention. We're also going to be discussing the fundamental factors that some are saying may propel Ethereum higher in 2020. That's on ethereumworldnews.com. They're also looking at the impact of decentralized finance, DeFi, which some are calling Ethereum's first killer app. That has a pretty big impact here. As you can see, ambcrypto.com is reporting that 2.93 million Ethereum are locked into the space. We'll also look at price predictions after that for not only this year, 2020, but 2021, 22, and 25, a little bit more long-term. We'll also take a look a little bit more abstractly at how DeFi is comparing to gaming and gambling decentralized applications. Before all that, however, let's take a snapshot look at the market. CoinMarketCap.com has the total market cap today at $199 billion, up a few $billion since yesterday. Bitcoin up 2% in the last 24 hours, currently just below 7,500 at $7,489, with dominance that remains seemingly locked at 68.2%. The first update we have now comes to us by way of CoinDesk, and we're looking at the Muir Glacier. I have no idea how to say this word because I've never said it out loud. I've only read it. I'm going to say Muir. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but it is Ethereum's hard fork, which is the second this month that we've seen in the last 30 days. Specifically at block 9,200,000, the Muir Glacier upgrade has been implemented on the Ethereum network, and the block was mined on the 2nd of January. At press time, 92% of Ethereum clients were synced with the new upgrade. That's according to Ether nodes. And the whole point of the Muir Glacier upgrade is that it delays the so-called difficulty bomb by 4 million blocks. And with the delay, the difficulty bomb is expected to not go off again for a few years, at least until the development of a key Ethereum 2.0 feature, such as the finality gadget. A purposeful design. Since Ethereum's launch in 2015, the difficulty bomb slowly increases block time settlement so as to push the network toward proof of stake, POS. And thus, in effect, the result of this upgrade was to keep the cost of transactions down and to make sure block settlement times didn't hit the 20 to 30 seconds per block that they were projected to reach. With that housekeeping out of the way, let's now discuss the future of Ethereum. 2019, of course, was pretty flat for the most part, let's be honest, but these fundamental factors, according to ethereumworldnews.com, may propel ETH higher in 2020. On the whole, the fundamentals of Ethereum have been growing steadily, and I know before you throw your rotten tomatoes at me, I understand that the scalability issue hasn't been solved just yet, but there is a lot that's been happening behind the scenes to suggest that value has been added to the Ethereum network. Maybe that hasn't been reflected in the price. In fact, to be honest, it hasn't. That's how I see things. But fundamentally, there has been a growth in the space as far as the infrastructure, and particularly, again, in my opinion, Ethereum's involvement in DeFi, in decentralized finance. And we're going to be discussing that more in just a second. Fellow YouTuber Nicholas Merton said the following in a tweet: "Seeing Ethereum at $130 almost makes my heart race a bit. It shows me unaware the general market is, I guess, how unaware the general market is about DeFi, again, decentralized finance. High interest lending pools, functioning decentralized exchanges, functioning smart contracts plus oracles, fundamentals improving plus cheaper price equals opportunity." That is also my point of view. I've been discussing subtly the opportunity that exists with a low cost of Ethereum for quite a while now. Not financial advice, but that's just how I view things. Don't forget, Ethereum was up as high as $1,400. It's now down more than 90%. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a buying opportunity, but when you take that and you combine it with the fact, the outlook of what it's doing, the value that it could potentially bring onto its own network, I think there's a lot of room for growth. Just my opinion. Well, that segues perfectly into this question, which is also being asked on ethereumworldnews.com. Is decentralized finance Ethereum's first so-called killer application? If you have perused crypto Twitter at all in the last few months, you've likely heard that term DeFi tossed around, specifically in relation to Ethereum, which of course is the second largest blockchain by the market cap of its cryptocurrency. We have covered DeFi in the past, but if you're new to the space, decentralized finance is all about applications that the regular world of finance handles today put onto a decentralized blockchain and then implemented with Ethereum specifically and tokens based on the network. Many DeFi applications that have launched have centered around the act of lending and borrowing stable coins tied to the US dollar. Others have been focused on giving crypto traders a chance to trade with leverage in a decentralized fashion instead of having to go through a central service such as BitMEX. Of all of the numbers we can throw around and discuss right now, here is the statistic that appeals to me the most. You have more than 2% of all Ether in circulation currently being tied up in applications related to the DeFi ecosystem, which includes MakerDAO, Synthetics, IDEX, and so on and so forth. In other words, the ecosystem is quickly gaining traction. Binance knows what's up. They are the world's largest cryptocurrency ecosystem, and they've made a strategic acquisition of a decentralized application information and analytics service specifically to better focus its efforts on things like DeFi and on-chain gaming. As previously reported by the website, the exchange just last week acquired DApp Review, quote, the world's leading information and analytics platform for blockchain-based decentralized applications. CoinDesk also reports that the acquisition will give users, quote, easy access to explore new dApps and crypto games, as well as more insights into DeFi. And on ambcrypto.com, we are reporting a new all-time high of Ethereum currently locked into DeFi. The number recorded is 2.93 million right now. Again, the DeFi ecosystem offers users bank-like options, including lending and borrowing platforms, payment platforms, derivatives platforms, and others as well. And Ethereum not only seems to be taking a lead with regard to the applications in the DeFi ecosystem, but also in terms of the value locked into DeFi, as the charts on DeFi Pulse reflect the same. As per the latest data, the total Ethereum locked in DeFi hit an all-time high with 2.932 million. And here is what you're likely most interested in: the price predictions of Ethereum on CoinSwitch for 2020 and many subsequent years. We're talking about 2021, 22, and 25. These are a lot of different opinions here, so take them all with a grain of salt. I have a bit of an issue with people that just throw numbers and say, well, Ethereum could reach $50,000 by the end of 2020. If you qualify a statement with could or possibly, then anything is true and you can't really be invalidated, so it doesn't really mean anything. Keep that in mind when evaluating some of these predictions, because I think some of them are kind of fluffy, to be honest. However, you're getting to see the pattern of thought that people have, the trend and the investing zeitgeist, perhaps, so to speak. I do think there is a lot of value coming into the Ethereum ecosystem, and I'll touch on that more in just a second. So hopefully that'll be at least somewhat reflected in some of the prices. Let's take a look at what some people have to say. If you'd like some more background information on what Ethereum does, how it works, how it was originated, this is a good article. But let's begin with some predictions here. The co-founder of technologist.com, Joseph Rachinsky, says that Ethereum might reach $1,200 by the end of 2020. Ian McLeod, who is an influential technology expert of Thomas Crown Art, predicts that it could go to $500 in 2020. Nigel Green of the DeVere Group says $2,500 by the end of 2020. Don't forget previous all-time high, as I mentioned earlier, $1,400. Trading Beasts says that Ethereum might reach $908, very specifically by the end of 2020. And Brian Schuster, the founder of ARK Capital, says $100,000 in another 5 years or so. And while that may sound overly optimistic, I am also very wide-eyed when it comes to Ethereum in the long term. I think it's perhaps more likely that Ethereum will hit $100,000 sooner than Bitcoin will hit $1 million. Allow me to explain. Even though the price of Ethereum is a little bit lackluster, and as we've seen, it hasn't really done much in 2019, there is a lot of value coming in to that ecosystem, coming in to the tokenization model, coming into the smart contract. So even if that isn't necessarily reflected in Ethereum's market cap, Ethereum could have a total market cap of $1 trillion one day and still handle many tens of trillions of dollars in business transactions. Or theoretically, the price doesn't even have to move at all. It could maintain its current market cap of about $15 billion and still handle those trillions of transactions, those trillions of dollars worth of business on its network. But my theory and what I'm trying to suggest is that one day, once everybody is on the Ethereum network, and once it really takes hold as the dominant infrastructure that people are using, and once that network represents many trillions and perhaps many tens of trillions of dollars, well, maybe then Ethereum's market cap will begin to reflect the importance of that network, and it'll creep up from 15 billion to 50 to 100 to several hundred billion, and maybe you'll have some sort of situation, as has been predicted by many dreamers in this space, where Ethereum could very well take over Bitcoin, because the value of that network, whether or not it is reflected in Ethereum's price, the value of that network really has a lot of potential if it is widely adopted in the business world. So yes, I am very optimistic about the future of Ethereum. However, right now, in this instance, I'm going to be sounding a little bit more cynical, because it would seem that CoinSwitch has pulled these numbers out of their behind. They're saying that in the year 2022, Ethereum might reach 2,500. Why not? Yeah, just let's pull numbers out of hats. And in the year 2025, it will be around 3,844. Take a look at this article in its entirety. As I mentioned, there's some good exposition about what Ethereum is, how it was created, what the intentions are, what its future holds. Again, I think more than anything, it's all about the value that Ethereum can attract to its network. Its own valuation will be correlated to that over time and eventually, but attracting that value, creating that infrastructure is most important. That's how I see things. Let me know if you agree or disagree, or have another point of view in the comments below. Just a couple of quick articles here to point you in the direction of on Coindesk.com. Compared to gaming and gambling dApps, DeFi is still behind. Probably no surprise there, but that may well change with time. And on newsbtc.com, Upbit's stolen Ethereum is moving, and it's bad news for Ethereum. I don't like to end on a downer, so I'll leave this to you guys. If you're interested in tracking the lost $50 million worth of Ethereum that was hacked from Upbit, we'll include this article for you to check out in the description below. But that about wraps it up for today, everybody. Do be sure you are following us on all the regular social media channels, and keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io. Hey, go ahead, like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell. That way you receive notifications every time we produce new content. Best of luck, of course, if you choose to invest. Don't forget, every Saturday we are giving away a CryptoTag Zeus starter kit. The new cycle begins now. Make sure you're subscribed, make sure you like, and make sure you comment on our videos. Have a great Sunday, everybody. A great end to your weekend, a great start to your week. And as always, we hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.